goes. What's going on, Mike? I'm double dipping right now. I'm recording a video as well for other places. And I'm going to take this thing about as far as I can with liners, just because I don't want any ink spills or anything like that. So I do have some brush pens that I will probably pop out for some of the outlines. I like the soft edges. I like with brush, but the hard edges I'm not crazy confident with them. Whiteout. Whiteout. And this paper here is it's the 500. It's the 500 series Bristol. I like the regular surface. I don't like the plate finish. I tend to get real loose on it, so which I do have. I had the same issue too with I had it's still sitting in there collecting dust. I have an entire stack of the Eon boards, the plate finish, the really thick ones. Oh, nice. Jolly Saint Nick giving you the hookup. Do do do. I see my campaign is, as of today, it's I hit the 5,000 mark, which is pretty cool. See, Andy's in here. I was just talking to Andy about it earlier. Which, it's always a nice surprise when the stuff like surpasses kind of what you idealized, you know. Man, you are obsessed. Andy's obsessed with the face. I'll do the face rating. Actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. You're gonna have to wait. I gotta hit this leg. Alright, maybe I'll start with the face. And I left this thing really open. I'm going to hit all the contours first, and then I'm going to come in and probably just throw a bunch of cross-hatching everywhere since everybody loves that. And this piece, when I'm finished coloring it, it's going to be one of the it'll be one of the stretch goal items. It's going to be used for one of the stretch goal items for the Indiegogo campaign we got going right now. You can't see it on this live one. No, Andy. So what you're seeing is my my cell. I got the Logitech on the recorded one. You're gonna see a different vantage point, and you also see my stack of reference books behind me, and clutter, and some toys. stuff like that. I see Blakey. Yes. I use red 29 on everything, as you know. Sometimes a grayscale Copic here and there. I need to make a video about that, how you can use red 29 for everything in art. You don't need anything else. Just the red 29. And Blakey knows this. It's the color of blood. I don't think I've ever used R29 for lips. It's way too red. I think I've used, what is it, maybe, what, the R17 and the R11. I just know those two because I always have them in the front of my Copic box, just sitting there staring at me. Just staring. But the 29 is my favorite, though. That is actually my favorite. It's just only useful on a few things. Like capes and Deadpool, stuff like that. So I'll probably just stick on here for a little bit and knock out at least some of the contour, and then I'll get off and probably dive in a little bit to some of the hatching stuff. I'm going to be freehanding it, so I got to concentrate a little bit on where I'm placing all my values and all that. Which one? This one? That pouch? Your right or my right? Because those ones are hidden. So it must be that one. I've drawn a few pouches in my day. A couple. Alright, this guy's going upside down. My least favorite thing to ink. Drawing it I have no issues, but inking ovals gives me anxiety. So fake it with thicks to thins. The what? The Batman, the Silvestri cover? Nope. I want to catch him at a show and get the, he'll probably end up having like an oversized print, which would be pretty cool. I would pick that up. This is going unnaturally easy. So the nice thing with these uni pins is that the whiteout usually can knock them out if you get a couple lines that go here and there. Which I'm assuming they do the same with Pigmas, but I don't use Pigma markers anymore. I gave those up a long time ago. I switched to the Faber-Castells, which I still use. I just don't have any at my desk, so that's why I'm using these. These are all the relics that I have left from inking that that cover for Frega. I got it right here. I'll show you too. There we go. So this was that was that cover that I inked for Dan. like it. Oh, pretty cool. A little bit of brush. I used some brush, and you can see where I had to hit it with, clean it up a bit. But all the outline, I believe, probably 90% of the outline on all this was brush inked. So, but I would normally do that on this, but again, I wasn't doing a live stream for that. But I'll put it down here. Yeah, this type stuff I don't trust myself. That's my next thing. I need to get some sort of copyright strike-free tunes, so you're not just hearing paper getting torn into. If it's picking it up. I know. She's... Hi, kitty. Neighbor's cat gets very offended if my door is closed when it comes into my house. These pens are fun to use too. They're fun when they don't mess up. That's when they're fun. And when they don't smear also. That's when they're fun. You didn't like the Dave Grohl Peaches cover, Andy? I thought it was kind of funny. But I really hope that he doesn't ever again cover a Beastie Boys song. It hurt my soul. Butchery. I think I listened to. I don't think anyone on here even knows what we're talking about. Dave Grohl did a cover of Sabotage, and it was not good. I had to listen to it several times just to make sure it wasn't like I was malfunctioning and didn't understand it. I was right. It was not my thing. Which Deftones tunes would I want Foo Fighters to cover? Engine Number 9. I think you'd be able to pull it off. I think Engine Number 9, Lifter. I think anything around the fur before Bored. I'd like to hear him cover Prince. I would like to hear a Foo rendition. I see Raymond. Happy holidays to you and the fam. Hope you're doing all right. I haven't heard from you in a bit. I should probably actually mention too. So this cover, I just skipped out on it. It's for a book called Replicator, and I know that Replicator 3, yeah. So I know that the campaign, I believe, is still I'm pretty sure it's still active for that one there. And then mine, for the 94 Volume 1 collection, which this is going to be used for an item contained with it. I think mine ends in 3 days. Might be wrong, but 3 or 4 days. And I'm real close to 100 real close to 100 backers. Which is cool. My sketchbook was, half of that. So this one was a pleasant surprise. What's kind of crazy with these liners, these uni liners, is that I can go from like a 3 to an 8 and still essentially get the same line. It's always kind of tripped me out. Just to play it safe on the smaller things, I'll drop to like a 1 or a 2, just because I would hate for it to, the one time I don't, starts dropping some fatty lines on somewhere where you wanted to go thin. That's no fun. So yeah, this is interesting. It'll be interesting too, the scanning process on this. So you can't tell. This is blue. This layout is a blue line layout. Off of, I had threw it on Instagram and Facebook already, but it was my daughter's dance class. I usually sit out there and sketch, and I kind of dug this layout. I just tweaked it out a little bit, and I ran out of room for the other arm, so I did a little bit of a clone action on the arm to get it there, and I switched up a couple other things in Photoshop before I got the design completed for this. For what I'm making now. Well, thanks, Ray. Yeah, it's yeah, just trying to keep variation. The stuff I like. I can't stand when I start working on stuff and it's looking very deadlined. Deadline would be where there's no line variation, no weights. It's just sort of zipping through the piece, For me, I know other artists, that's kind of their calling. That's kind of what they do. But I feel like it just makes my work really boring when I do that. So I try to give a little bit of volume to everything. So I'm not sure whether or not it actually helps, but my eye, it it convinces my eye that it's correct the way that I wanted it to look. So pretty sure I'm doing all this work on the arms and using a 5, which kind of makes sense. I use a 05 Zebra mechanical pencil pretty much exclusively for the last 22 years maybe. I used to use a lot of the drafters pencils with those like super wide, the wide leads. I use those now. I got one right here. I use them now for this would be the drafting pencil that I used to use. I feel like it just leaves behind a lot and makes more of a mess. And I've become accustomed to using the 5 and building my lines off the 5. A little more work, but when you do it rapidly, it doesn't feel like it. So. Just adjusting some stuff over here. There it goes. Oh yeah, yeah. The those are nice, and I also have these Copic liners. These ones are like the refill liners. They're cool. I do notice though that the ink that they come with is more of like an 80% gray. It's not necessarily the 100% black that we all like in our line art. So I kind of stopped using them. I was using them a lot on sketch covers though, a lot. I think the ink is formulated to work really well with the Copic markers so that they don't bleed real bad and all that. They just got to be kind of tedious. You felt like sometimes it just felt like you were drawing with a pencil, like strange way. Even though it was ink, it just kind of had a strange, even the way the tips kind of go across the paper. Not complaining. I wish that back in the day, I wish these were more easily accessible. I know I learned how to ink with I'm not inking with no black 110 Copic. You crazy, Andy. Crazy Andy. I remember going through tons of tips on those Rapidograph pens in high school and trying to ink stuff with those because I didn't like the Hunt 102. I didn't like there was like different variations of like crow quills that teachers had us using, and they didn't I don't know. They seemed a little counterintuitive for the way that I would pencil at the time. So um, I really kind of liked the rapidographs and the inks and stuff with them. Better than a Sharpie. I mean, it always it always kind of cracks me up to see you see these originals from the late 80s and the 90s that are selling for, six figures, 90,000 whatever. Um, and damn well that they hit some of those black areas with the Sharpie, because like those areas are like all faded and purple, and oh man. Pilot pins. There's a pin right now. I don't have any here. There's a pin now that I still use, and it's this weird felt tip pin. And I was using them back in junior high. I think one was given to me. Like, it was one of those, like, forgot to bring a writing instrument to class, so the teacher let me borrow one. And I ended up keeping it. Like, it was really nice. I don't know the brand name. I'll try to post up about it if I can find it. But I tend to find them on accident at stores, and they'll have like a 1, a 2, or a 3 pack on a card, and then I never see them again for years sometimes. But I know the packaging is red. That's all I recall. Like, the packaging is red. Immediately when I see it, I know what it is, but I always forget. Like, I actually forget what kind of a pen it is. Brand wise, it's probably some mainstream brand, and I'm just too excited about being able to ink with that thing again. There's that pen that I never returned, because it's awesome. Like, that pen was way better than what it was being used for. Science homework. This thing needs to be on art, right? Anyone reading any good books, comic wise, or it has to be comic wise, because I really don't read novels. So, any recommendations? Break this guy out right here. I need some ovals. action. Man, you better not be reading those Tank Girl books. Those are made to be drawn on, Andy. Andy thinks that you buy sketch covers to read them. Yeah, I've seen a few. I've seen a few people posting. Raymond, I've been seeing a few people posting that the Juggernaut book is really good. Andy, that's so 2016. Is that book still a thing? Oh yeah, Raymond Leonard's Agent Solo, epic. Good read, good art. Good colors. It's the real deal. Hey Ray, that's something you might want to consider is getting some sketch cover editions made of the Agent Solo book because lunatics like Andy Perez and myself, we like